Excellent. Well, thank you for joining today. I'm going to go ahead. Everyone should be seeing my screen. I'm going to leave my camera up for now, but I will be turning it off here in a few slides when we get into some of the more CET related stuff. And can everybody hear me okay?
Yes, thank you.
Perfect. All right. Excellent. Mike, you volunteered earlier to monitor the chat, so if we have any questions or anything, just give me a heads up on that. That's a little bit difficult.
I'll keep an eye on.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Well, welcome to the very first CET training for our FurnitureLab extension. I'm so happy to be here, to give this to you guys today. It's really very exciting to be able to do this. All right. So first off, my name is Rachel Peterson. I am the eTools Engagement Manager for FurnitureLab. And I'm just going to take a minute to introduce myself. I've now been in the industry of both as a dealership designer and as a design manager for nearly 20 years now. Let me let someone in real quick.
Rachel, I'll watch that too. I'll take care of that.
Can you see that? That would be great.
Yep,
Thank you. Awesome. I joined FurnitureLab in August of this past year. I've now been on CET for almost 4 years, going on 4 years now, and I've trained more than 70 designers on transitioning to the CET platform. And I'm really happy to have everyone here today so that we can talk about the brand new FurnitureLab extension. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to do a brief overview of the extension. So I'm not going to get into deep onto the products. Those will be in the upcoming sessions. But just a brief overview, as well as dive into the website a little bit so that you know about the resources that we have available that are related to the design work that you guys will be doing. So let's start with a brief overview of who FurnitureLab is. We provide the best tables, chairs, booths. Hold on. Let's get that started. There we go. We provide the best tables, chairs, booths, and banquettes for education, healthcare, corporate, and military and government environments. Our standard products are beautiful and functional, plus we can customize most products to fit your project. I do recommend that when you work on a project in CET, that you also send that to us for an audit and for final quoting before you give that final pricing to your customer or place that order. We'll audit your project for accuracy and make sure that anything like graphic upcharges or freight are the best costs available for you. And as mentioned, we do love to customize products for you. If it's simple modifications, say something that you can stretch to size, we'll take your adjustments and provide custom quoting for you. Anything that's more complex, maybe it's something not so easy to make in CET, we're happy to create those symbols for you as well. And if you want us to handle the project at any time, you're welcome to contact your account managers and utilize our design services to draw and quote your project. And speaking of our design managers, this is our territory map. And today we are joined by several of our, let's see, who ended up all being able to join here. So I know Karen Eberling is here. We've got Mike Potter, Nuri Isaza. I'm probably saying that wrong. I'm so sorry, Nuri. Stacy Cyrnos, you're on. Let's see, did we have anybody else? Nope. And we're also joined by Nathan Behrman, our fearless leader in charge at FurnitureLab. So don't worry too, I am going to put this up at the very end today, so don't worry about trying to get all your contact information down, but this will be up at the very end as well. So we have all of our territories are split out by our account manager, who also has a sales support person that partners with them. And we also have a project manager assigned to each territory. My information is also provided at the bottom, so you can contact me directly if you have any CET related questions as well. All right, I'm gonna go off camera so that you guys can all focus on the CET portion of this at this point. Okay. So we're going to start by getting into just a brief overview and a little bit on the main tab. And then we're going to dive into the website, kind of go back and forth between the two. And then we'll have time for questions and everything after that. Okay. So we have our extension right here. We have beautiful tabs. I love the color. So here we have our contact information at the top. We have our website link. So if you click on this, it'll take you directly to the main page. Within that, we also have our price list link. So it'll take you directly out to our price list. So if you're looking for more detail, this is where you can get it very quickly. We also have a toll-free number and a basic email. So if you're not sure who to contact for something, you can call or send an email to that link. We also have a direct support email address. You can email that or myself directly. They both come to me either way. And that we are hoping to build in the bug report version that CET has later this year. So do look for that coming soon. The next section that we have on our main tab is our freight zone. So our freight zone is set up as a total list percentage. So it is going to be based on where something is shipping to, not necessarily where it's being ordered from. And the link here at the top is going to take you to the section of our website that's going to go into greater detail. So what we've put on the main extension tab is going to be our kind of summary of that, but it's a really good quick reference when you're starting to calculate your freight. If you do have less than $3,000 list, you are going to need to calculate that percentage plus add $150. And if it is more than 20,000 list, you're going to need to contact your account manager to get accurate quoting for that. But if you're in that kind of $3,000 to $20,000 range, it's very easy to quote based on the percentage. And as I said, there's more detail on the website, including how to calculate that. So it'll link you right there if you have any questions at all. Okay. This last section here, this is our graded in fabrics kind of reference link. If you go out to the contract fabrics link and you scroll down to our, there we go, contract fabrics section, it's going to show you the most common manufacturers that we work with. This does not restrict you at all. Any contracted fabric, so anything with that, kind of contract level in terms of like double rubs and wearability, pretty much any of those that are appropriate to go on seating can be used on our seating. And we'll certainly always advise if there's something like fabric content or anything like that that is at all a concern. But when you're working with fabrics, we do provide the grades D through L that you can pretty much pick anything within those price ranges, and that's up to $85 net per fabric yard. We also work a little bit differently than a traditional COM. So COMs kind of, for us, it's more of a manufacturer to supply COM, which means that we actually take a lot of that work off of your plate and build that pricing into the product itself. So you don't have to worry about shipping and ordering that fabric anywhere. We'll take care of all of that for you. And there's a couple situations where COMs might come up. For one, if you're above that $85, we will grade anything in above that. You just need to get us the fabric and the pricing, or we can obtain that for you. If you are working with our booth line, we do have our seating set up so that the seats themselves are standard in the Multiplex vinyl, which if you're not familiar with the Multiplex, it is a very broad range of colors and a very sturdy and beautiful vinyl. So if you find that one of those does not work and you want to put something else on the chair or on the base of the booth, that will turn the entire unit into a COM. And in that case, we're happy to price that entire unit for you, which will include that fabric. So keep in mind when you are pricing things and you're doing a COM on a booth, or on a chair, that you will need to add the additional cost of the fabric in there for early budgeting purposes. But when we provide the quote, the fabric will be wrapped up into the unit price. All right. Any questions before we get into the website? All right, let's pop over to the main page of the website, and we're just going to make that full screen to make it easier. This is our landing page. You're going to see here at the bottom that we do have 3 separate sections that'll be quick links into different parts of the website. The first one is into our project gallery. So if you're looking for inspiration and you want to see other projects that we've done, this is a great place to go to. We also have a direct link into our CET section of our resources, which I'll show you how to get to from within the menu. And then we also have access directly to our 2023 lookbook. It's a beautiful catalog of projects and ideas and products. So I highly recommend that you take a look at that and maybe download a copy to your computer as well. All right. So we're going to go through some of the vital areas of our website so that you know where all of your resources are. So first, the product section from the main menu up in the upper right corner. We have everything organized by type of product. So I'm going to go into the seating here. And then anything that has subcategories that you can sort by. So here, for example, if you want an upholstered back chair or if you need it to be stacking, you can select that in order to narrow down the search results. Within each product, and I'm going to go into the Emily series here first, you're going to see along the top that there's a banner that's going to be filled with images of that product. And if there's a video that we've done for that, that's going to be included as well. I highly recommend checking out those videos. If you don't follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn, please do. Those are going to be where you're going to see those when they first come out. They're really great and just so some really nice ways of seeing exactly how the product can work for you. Within each one, you're then going to have a direct link to the download page for each item or variant of the item. Now, this is actually the exact same page that is part of our price list. So it's a really quick way if you're just looking for a couple of products. You don't have to search through the whole price list. You can come here to get all of that information. Each one is also going to have a specifications section. So any sort of details that you might need for dimensions or options are going to be seen in this section. You're also going to see all relevant finishes for this. So for example, if there is a metal and a stain, you're going to see both of those like you do with this chair. The contract fabrics is going to be the same as what is out on the resource link, as well as the Boltiflex. So you're going to see quick access to each of those areas. Next, we have our resources page. Now, this is an area that you'll probably spend a little more time with. We have a lot of great things linked out here, including things like our warranty, our price list, the detailed freight program, as well as our lookbook and our finishes. So each of those areas has some things that you might need at various points during your project. So this is where you're going to come for that information. But we all want to know, what about CET? So that main link on the front page will bring you directly to this same page. So when we click here, it's the same location. Within this section, we have at the top an array of our design resources and services so that you know exactly what you need, what you can ask for when you're talking to us. And we're really happy to help at any point. So if you've started a project in CET and, things happen, you get really busy and you're, able to come to us to hand that project off, we can pick up where you've left off and continue on from there. We also have a direct link to the Configure website where our CET extension is. So if anybody is looking for that, this link will take you directly to our marketplace link for that. We do have some additional products that we're going to be looking to add later this year, including finish schemes and some material packs particularly things like an Open Studio grayscale laminate, which if you're not familiar, make sure to join the tables session on March 21st so you can learn more about Open Studio laminates. We also have here all of our upcoming CET training sessions. You probably saw the email to join these as well, but all of these will also be replicated here. And we will be adding links once we get all of these recordings posted. There will be links through our website, and there will also be a probably a message and links within the Configura dashboard. So make sure that you're following our dashboard on Configura's website as well for all those updates. Here at the bottom, we also have our typicals catalog. So if you're curious about different ways that products might go together and kind of, you know, some ways that we've actually, some of these are based on actual projects that we've done. So you can see the variety of layouts and styles and finishes that you can really make, you know, it just kind of helps start your projects a little bit faster. And all of these typicals can be found here in this subsection. When you go through, there's 14 different typicals right now. Those will grow over time. Everything has links to the products that are shown in this particular typical. Then below, we're going to have cut sheets, which have a rendering as well as the list of product and which finishes are being used on that. So you have a quick reference sheet. We also have an option to do just the rendering, or you can do a line 3D for each one of those as well. So if you're looking for something that maybe early on as a thought starter you want to bring out and not really, you know, consider doing the full rendering, we have both of those available. The last link here will get you the CET favorites file, so you can drag and drop that file into any existing drawing or open through the favorites menu. And it also has a DWG file. So if you happen to be working in maybe an older project or you're wanting to send one to someone who's using AutoCAD and not CET, you have access to that as well. Okay. Any questions about that? Excellent. We do have one other thing here, and you'll actually see in the back of my background and several of the other members of the FurnitureLab team that we also have some backgrounds that you can download and use either on your computer, or you can put them into your Zoom, Teams, Google Meet backgrounds. So have some fun playing with those. We got our little FurnitureLab cafe version and our FurnitureLab student lounge. And we'll probably be adding more as we go, you know, just some really fun things that you can add to your repertoire. And particularly, it's nice to have on your background if you happen to be presenting to a client and you're, you know, doing maybe a live design with a bunch of our furniture. I highly encourage using one of our backgrounds. Okay. Excellent. All right, so now that we are kind of through the website and through this main tab, I'm just going to give a brief overview of the 4 product tabs that we have. I highly recommend getting in and playing around with that. And I'm going to point out a couple of things that we are looking to add in the next, well, probably 30 days for a couple of things, and kind of through time, how we'll grow this. So for each of our tabs, we're going to start here showing the booth tab. We have a link to the products. So this will take you directly to that product page, directly to the booth section, and then the link to the materials section in the resources. So quick little access, that way you can get out to what you need right away. Our booths, we have 5 different lines. Currently, right now, we have our single, double, 3/4 round, half round. We are going to be adding the wall bench, hopefully within the next 90 days. So that may or may not be ready for the training in a couple of weeks, where we're going to do booths and seating. But if not, we will add an additional training so that everybody knows how to use that product. We're really, really excited about that one. In our seating section, again, we have the same kind of resource links. We have our metal and our wood seating shown here. Most of the products do also come in chair, counter, and bar height. but they will show if there's any restrictions that allow them not to do that. There's also a lot of flexibility in terms of like upholstered versus wood seat and even a few metal seats. So if you're looking for a variety of products, we're a really great resource for that. Next, we have our tables. We have separate links to the tabletops and the table bases. So if you're looking to see the variety, you can link directly to our website from there. Our tables are organized by shape. So you're going to grab the shape that you want, and then you can size it to the range of shapes that, or the range of sizes that we have available for that shape. We also do have 2 personal tables, our Rambler and Juno. Those are tied a little bit more to a specific size tabletop, and they have a little bit different functions, so we've pulled those out so they're a little easier to find. And last, we have our trash receptacles. These are great additions to any project, particularly if you happen to be doing maybe a larger cafeteria area. And unlike a lot of them on the market, we actually do have the inner liner included in our trash receptacle, which I know can be a pain if you're trying to source it for a lot of other products out there. So that is an overview of our entire extension. We are going to be getting in on March 7th is going to be the booths and the seating. So we're going to deep dive into some details about how to specify that, some of the unique things that we do, some of the ways that you'll want to specify the fabrics and materials, and a couple really cool things that some of the wood back chairs allow us to do. And then for the tables and trash, that's going to be held on March 21st. The tables, there is a lot more complexity to those, and we have a ton of really great finishes. So definitely join for that. And I think we're going to have the ability to do the graphics tables by then within CET. So I'm really excited to be able to share that with everyone as well. Okay. That's it, guys. Does anybody have any questions? Is there anything in the chat?
Nothing in the chat, Rachel.
No problem. This one is a pretty, quick overview, and, we're not getting too much into the products, but definitely come back on the 7th and the 14th. You can join either time for those days. There's going to be an 11:30 Eastern and a 4 p.m. Eastern as well. And that way, hopefully it fits in everyone's schedule. I brought back up the territory map. So make sure to take down note of who your account manager is, who your support staff is, your sales support person is, your project manager, and my contact information at the bottom. And I'll leave this up for a few minutes so that everybody has plenty of time to make note of that, if you're not familiar.
Rachel, this is Nathan. Yeah. I just want to add one quick thought. First of all, just to thank you to all of our awesome customers who came and were a part of this first training. And then I wanted to give a shout out to Rachel. She's too humble to tout her own skills and amazingness, but she comes to FurnitureLab now, last summer, officially with FurnitureLab, with over 10 years of experience working on CET and training on CET, working with Staples. She's an unbelievable talent. We are so lucky to have you doing this. And I just want to encourage all the CET users out there to lean on her and lean on her experience to, if you ever need anything, need help getting from point A to point B, she's going to be there to help you do that. So shout out to you, Rachel. Thanks. That was awesome.
Thank you very much, Nathan. Yeah, certainly, guys, I've got a wide experience with CET in general. So I know a couple of you, I know Paulette actually was personally trained by me at our last company. So I think she can also tout, my training style. And so if there is anything that you're, having trouble with, I'm happy to help. CET, it's a lovely program, but it can be a bit of a beast sometimes. So, particularly with our extension, but also kind of in general, if you're working on one of our projects and you just need some general help, I'm really, able to step in and help. Awesome. And then we did have one quick question about where the typicals are located. I did put the link directly to the resource section. You can get to it from the front page as well. So if you are on our website. Let me pull that up one more time. So if you do go out to the main website, if you click in this card right here, it will take you directly to the CET section, and then you're going to scroll down to the CET typicals right here. And then from there, you can download whichever portion of this that you would like for that particular instance. All right. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. It was great having everyone. And I hope to see everybody back in a couple of weeks for the first product section. We'll do booths and seating at that time.
Thank you, Rachel.
All right. Have a great one, everyone.